Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Evening Devotion. Well, I was hoping the part for more would be here a little earlier, but it's not. So I'm filming a little bit early, so that way when it does come in, I can get this mower put together finally so we can mow grass because it's growing fast. Um, and guys, I hope this morning's devotion made sense. I know sometimes I get off topic and go and share other details. I suffer from learning too many small details, and then anything that I read or anything that I engage in conversation in, there's all these little tiny details that I know, and I've got to learn to not share so many of them. That way I can stay on topic. So, but hopefully it made sense. And I share that stuff because it's good information and it helps understand in the understanding of some of these things. And I've noticed that ever since I had this traumatic brain injury, my brain tries to do two different things at once. It's kind of weird. I have a hard time focusing sometimes. I had to tell my wife that the other day when we were working on the mower, and she was asking me all these other questions. I was like, "You're gonna have to wait a minute because I cannot focus on that and this at the same time." I used to have no problem doing multitasking different things at the same time, but now, ever since that traumatic brain injury, I can't anymore. If I'm focused on something, I had to stay focused on that, and it's a major undertaking to change my focus to go to think about something else. Anyway, the Lord's in control, so I'm not worried about it. I just have to pay closer attention to what I'm doing in order to make sure I don't make a mistake. Isaiah 51:3 is our target verse. He will make her wilderness like Eden. For the Lord will comfort Zion. He will comfort all her waste places. He will make her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness will be found in it, thanksgiving and the voice of melody. So if you go look at Israel today, and I'm not just talking about what we look at as Israel on the map, but the original Israel, the entire territory. And it goes way north, way south, and way east. The original boundaries extended out into Iraq, went up into Syria. I think all of Lebanon was part of Israel at one time. He's going to turn all that into the Garden of Eden. We're going to get to see that. We're going to be there to see that happen. It's going to be amazing. Let's get some context. We'll start in verse 1. The Lord's comfort for Zion. Listen to me, you who follow after righteousness. So that would be all of us. You who seek the Lord. Look at the rock from which you were hewn, and to the hole of the pit from which you were dug. So that would be the rough-hewn stone. I did several videos on that a couple years ago. Look to Abraham your father and to Sarah who bore you. For I called him alone and blessed him and increased him. And we are all fathers of Abraham because of faith. For the Lord will comfort Zion. He will comfort all her waste places. He will make her wilderness like Eden and her desert like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness will be found in it, thanksgiving and the voice of melody. Now this specifically is addressed to quote-unquote Israel, but are we not the spiritual Israel? Sure we are. Verse 4, listen to me, my people, and give ear to me, O my nation, for law will proceed from me, and I will make my justice rest as a light of the peoples. My righteousness is near, my salvation has gone forth, and my arms will judge the peoples. The coastlands will wait upon me, and on my arm they will trust. So that's the whole world. That's all the Gentile nations too. Lift up your eyes to the heavens and look on the earth beneath, for the heavens will vanish away like smoke. The earth will grow old like a garment, and those who dwell in it will die in like manner. But my salvation will be forever, and my righteousness will not be abolished. Listen to me, you who know righteousness. You people in whose heart is my law. Do not fear the reproach of men, nor be afraid of their insults. For the moth will eat them up like a garment, and the worm will eat them like wool. But my righteousness will be forever, and my salvation from generation to generation. Amazing. Simply amazing. Methinks I see in vision a howling wilderness, a great and terrible desert, like to the Sahara. So I've been in a desert, the Qatar desert, and yeah, it's not fun. It's very sandy. It's very desolate. They build asphalt roads out there in Kuwait, but they get covered in sand. And even in Iraq, it happens. Sahara is just quite a bit bigger, but it's still it's a desert either way. Nothing in it, lifeless. I perceive nothing in it to relieve the eye. All around I am wearied with the vision of hot and arid sand, strewn with 10,000 bleaching skeletons of wretched men who have expired in anguish, having lost their way in the pitiless waste. Is he talking about a desert, or is he talking about the vast expanse of lifetimes? Could be both. What an appalling sight. How horrible. A sea of sand without a bound and without an oasis. A cheerless graveyard for a race forlorn. But behold, and wonder, upon a sudden upspringing from the scorching sand, I see a plant of renown, and as it grows, it buds. The bud expands. It is a rose, and at its side a lily bows its modest head. And miracle of miracles, as the fragrance of those flowers is diffused, the wilderness is transformed into a fruitful field, and all around it blossoms exceedingly. The glory of Lebanon is given unto it, the excellency of Carmel and Sharon. Call it not Sahara, call it paradise. So do you know what he's doing here? To us, it's the Sahara Desert, but when Jesus is there, it becomes paradise. He is the Rose of Sharon. He is the lily of the valley. Speak not of it any longer as the valley of Deathshade, for where the skeletons lay bleaching in the sun, behold, a resurrection is proclaimed, and up spring the dead, a mighty army full of life, immortal. Jesus is that plant of renown, and his presence makes all things new. Nor is the wonder less in each individual's salvation. Yonder I behold you, dear reader, cast out, an infant, unswathed, unwashed, defiled in your own blood, left to be food for beasts of prey. But lo, a jewel has been thrown into your bosom by a divine hand, and for its sake you have been pitied and tended by divine providence. You are washed and cleansed from your defilement. You are adopted into heaven's family. The fair seal of love is upon your forehead, and the ring of faithfulness is on your hand. You are now a prince unto God, though once an orphan, cast away. O prize exceedingly the matchless power and grace which changes deserts into gardens and makes the barren heart to sing for joy. So the analogy of the desert talks of the desert, but more specifically talks of the future of all mankind. This life we live where there is no hope, there is nothing to look forward to except for death and darkness. But in the midst of that life, Christ reveals himself and breathes new life into us. We were lost. We were cast away. We were abandoned. He found us. He found us, and he gently picked us up and is taking care of us and has given us this immortal life and has given us adoption that we may become one of his family. You know, no one can make such a boast of saying, you know, my God is my brother also. By adoption, he gave me that right by salvation, that I am his brother. I am his servant. I am co-heir with him of all things. I am his church. I am his bride. He is my all in all, and I am all those things to him. What a glorious thing to be saved, to have faith today in lieu of a world that does everything it can to go against faith. And we have faith. That's a miracle. Listen, guys, that's a miracle. And the Bible talks in multiple places, especially the Old Testament, about the people at the end time that would have faith. Jesus even speaks of it when he talks to Thomas. You believe because you've seen. I tell you, blessed are those who believe and have not seen. Well, that's everybody that's come after that. Especially being this far, 2,000 years removed from the event. It's amazing. It's incredible. That all these wonderful gifts he's given us, all these beautiful promises that he has bestowed upon us, and as broken as we are, as messed up as we are, as defiled as we are, and he still loves us and cares for us. And he still gives us this free gift. I will not break the bruised reed. I will not quench the smoking flax. You are mine. I am yours. We will be together forever. These promises by themselves are astonishing. These promises together boggle the mind and cannot help but create a hope in the believer, knowing that the time is coming and all things will change. All things will be made right. This desert of this life will become a fruitful forest, as well as the earth will be changed and become new and have new life on it, and everything will be at peace. This life we live will also do that, and it'll be the Lord's doing. And all these things, guys, we haven't even begun to engage in a discourse that even begins to touch on all the things that the Lord will do, not only physically but spiritually, in our lives, in others' lives around the world, in all of creation. Wait until we see it. Wait until we have eyes that can behold these things. Wait until we see it, because then we'll all understand perfectly. We'll see. We'll realize the truth. And we'll start to remember all these discussions and all this stuff and these devotions, and it'll all make perfect sense. And then we'll see him as he is and be like him, stand with him in glory, in the light forever. And this desert of a life will be a fruitful plain. I mean, we bear fruit now. This very video, engaging in prayer and talking about the word, is all fruit bearing. Praises and thanksgivings and gloryings in the Lord, it's all fruit bearing. So already he has turned our desert into a fruitful plain. Just wait. Just wait until we get there and we see everything in the millennial reign the way it should be. And then we see things in our spiritual forests, in our spiritual plains, in our spiritual earths, the life that we live. We see that become the same thing. Then people will know. Then people will understand. I tell you, I'm excited to see the millennial reign and how everything is going to play out. I'm excited to see it. It is going to be a glorious time. What we're going to do, I don't know. Kings and priests, that's all I know. How it's going to unfold, I don't know. But I'm excited to see it, because it will be the greatest time this earth has ever seen. So the tribulation will be the worst time this earth has ever seen. The millennial reign will be the greatest time the earth has ever seen. And it's going to be glorious. And we'll be there, watching it all happen and partaking in it. Thank you, Lord, for all these promises, for all these blessings, for this word that tells us these things, and giving us a mind and an understanding that you open and reveal these things to us, so that we all the more love you and glorify you and are grateful and thankful for this wonderful free gift of salvation we have. In your name, Lord, amen. Guys, thank you for joining me for evening devotion. Glorious day. Glorious day today to be saved. It's going to be a real glorious future. More glorious than we can even begin to understand, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to all of us being there together in his kingdom, standing in his light and his glory. I'll see you in the next video.